My name is Philip Bailey. I'm the Department Chair for Mechanical, Aerospace, and Structural Engineering. It's my great pleasure to welcome students, alumni, faculty, and friends to this very special School of Engineering and Applied Science event. Today is the end of our National Engineers Week celebration, and we're very proud to end the week on such a high note, particularly for this department. With us today is Lieutenant Colonel Behnken, NASA astronaut and School of Engineering alumnus. Last night, the School of Engineering honored Bob with the prestigious Young Alumnus Award in the ceremony held last night. Well, I'll let Bob share most of his story with you. I do want to highlight a couple of resume items that differentiate him from the typical mechanical engineering graduate. Lieutenant Colonel Behnken was selected as a mission specialist by NASA in 2000. Since then, he's logged more than 1,000 flight hours on more than 25 different aircraft. In March of last year, 2008, Bob completed his first spaceflight mission as mission specialist on the Space Shuttle Endeavour. On completion of the 16-day mission, he had logged more than 378 hours in space, including nearly 20 hours in 3 spacewalks. Just as a personal note, I want to mention also that Bob has just been a delight to have on this visit. Paradoxically, among all the people I've met with such a record of accomplishment, he's one of the most down-to-earth people that I've run into. He's a graduate of Pattonville High School in Maryland Heights and 1992 graduate of Washington University. He received his doctorate in mechanical engineering from the California Institute of Technology, and he currently resides in Houston, Texas. Again, we're very honored to have him with us today. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Colonel Robert Behnken.
Well, thank you, Phil, for that kind introduction, and I'll try to live up to the standard that you've set for me of being down to earth and well-grounded, I guess. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my mission to the International Space Station. Like Phil said, I actually flew back in March of 2008 on the 11th. It was a 16-day mission to the International Space Station. I think we do have at least 1 or 2 people in the audience who actually attended this launch. And the folks that got to attend got to see a night launch, which is kind of a rare thing in recent history. The last couple actually have been night launches, but for a while we really needed to take a good sequence of videos of each of our launches to make sure we didn't lose any more foam off the external tank and cause damage to our orbiter, and so we were constrained to daylight launches, but we're back to night launches again. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my background. I'm also going to talk a little bit about my mission, and then I'm going to show a video that has got audio and kind of has all the bells and whistles that kind of puts you through the launch experience as well. Like was previously mentioned, I came through Washington University in the late 80s, early 90s, was a physics undergraduate and a mechanical engineering undergraduate, and then went on to Caltech as a graduate student, continued on as a mechanical engineer. Pretty exciting time for me. I think the Air Force wanted me to be a physicist, and so I accepted an ROTC scholarship from the Air Force to do that, but I also had a dream to study mechanical engineering as well, and so I did that as well. The Air Force, after I graduated from Caltech, sent me to the Air Force Research Laboratory, which is actually located in a lot of places. The particular segment that I went to was at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, in the Panhandle on some white beaches, so it's a beautiful place. And I got to do some interesting work there before being selected as a student at the Air Force Test Pilot School. Actually, I went through the Flight Test Engineers course out there, and so not as a pilot, but as the guy who rode in the back seat. And in addition to saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" I also kind of told the pilot what the next test point was going to be and helped plan test missions that didn't exhaust the air crew when they were done. So that was an exciting thing to do. I was lucky enough to be selected to move on to the F-22 Flight Test Squadron. And one of the neat things about doing flight tests is that a lucky couple of folks will get the opportunity to go test a brand new airplane. And those happen every 20 years or so in the Air Force. We're retiring the F-15 that was developed in the early 70s, so quite a long time ago, and we were testing the new F-22. So it was a unique time to be there, and I was really lucky to have that opportunity. But today what we're going to talk about mostly is about the shuttle launch that I was a part of. This is a picture just after liftoff of our flight of Endeavour. I'm going to go through a sequence of slides here, and then we'll kick off to the video, and you'll probably understand the video a little bit better once I've kind of bracketed it with these slides. So like I said, it was a night launch. What you don't see here is a set of clouds that were at about 5,000 feet, just right at the boundary that the launch weather wouldn't be good enough for us to launch. So what it meant was that when we lifted off, all the light from the space shuttle illuminated the entire Florida coast and kind of lit it up like dawn for about 20 seconds. And at the 25-second point, we disappeared into the clouds. Okay, so this looks a little bit scary if you're on the ground and a space shuttle does something like this, where it takes off and then there's a giant orange fireball. But there was nothing amiss. We were just punching through those clouds. Inside the space shuttle, I'll describe that a little bit. You'll see a video a little bit later where it's got some footage from inside there. But when you're on the launch pad, there's some bright white halogen lights that light up the entire launch pad so everyone can see the shuttle. Well, those lights reflect through the windows, and there's a nice white light inside the vehicle, and that's very calming, and everything seems good. You lift off, and you get out of those lights, and it turns dark, which is what you'd expect. Then you get to this cloud deck, which is not what I expected, for the orange plume to start coming through the windows about the same time that we got a sequence of caution and warning messages on our display panels inside the space shuttle, and I wondered for a couple of seconds what I had got myself into and how did I get myself out of it. But luckily, our commander was a steely-eyed missile man, like they say, and he was just marching along with the checklist and our procedures, and everything went smoothly, even though we had a sequence of those flashes of orange fireball coming through our windows.